Would you like to know how one candidate turned a rejection into a job offer? Well, in this video, I'm going to share with you an insight into how I experienced one person turning a definite no into a definite yes. Hello! If you're new to my channel, my name is Sharon and I'm a high performance coach who helps women become experts and leaders in their field and create a life they love. If you want to watch videos like this, come and join us and subscribe. Normally, I'm teaching women how to stand out and get hired, but today I'm actually going to give you an insight into what it was like when I was hiring and when I was reviewing a lot of the applications I was receiving. I received quite a few applications online and I was able to shortlist a good 15-20 people to call, and of those 15-20 people that I spoke to, 4 stood out as really exceptional. And there was one candidate, I'm not going to say her name, but let's just call her Sharon. I'm sure there's some nice Sharons out there, so I'm actually going to just call her Sharon. Sharon was a candidate that I looked at her application and she was an okay, her CV wasn't the strongest, she didn't have the most experience, and I was a little bit unsure, but I thought, you know what, let me just interview her to see how it goes. In my first interview, which was a phone interview, what was fascinating was within the first 5 minutes, I had made up my mind that it was a no. There was something about the way she was talking about herself that didn't really resonate with me as much as other candidates. Other candidates, the minute they were on the phone, they were giving me really good practical examples of how they could make a real difference in my organization. And because I am looking for someone who can make the most impact in my business, that's also within my budget, that's really what I was listening out for. But Sharon, she just wasn't doing it. She was talking and talking and talking. I'd already made up my mind that it was no. It wasn't until right at the end when I said, do you have any questions, that I noticed that she'd been watching my videos and she asked one of the questions that I mentioned in the questions to ask in an interview. And one of the questions she asked was, what concerns do you have about hiring me? Is there any thoughts that you have on why you might not hire me? And I just thought, oh my gosh, she had watched my video, she knew exactly what question to ask, and I was really put on the spot to be transparent. So I told her, well, I don't really get a sense of what impact you can really make in my organization. And she said, actually, that's a very valid point. I hadn't thought about that in how I was answering my interview questions. Well, I can give you some examples right now. So she ended up giving me some really good examples. And just by asking that one question, which is, what concerns do you have about hiring me? She was able to address any and all of the concerns that I have about why she might not be a good fit for the job. And this gave her the opportunity to turn a no into, okay, maybe you'll pass through to the next round. Now in the final round, I put on the final round, but I was still a little bit nervous. I still didn't know whether she would still be a great candidate or whether she just kind of slipped through to the final stage, because the other candidates that I had, they were exceptional. I did the final stage interview and I had like a couple of really good candidates. And I thought, man, I don't know which one to choose out of these two, particularly the top 2. I was like, this is a really hard decision. And then it was Sharon. So Sharon's interview. So she was actually one of the last people I interviewed. And by this point I thought, oh, it's a done deal. I'm going for the other candidates. But then I ended up asking her, how do you visualize making an impact in my team? Let's go into this in more detail. And she came up with an amazing presentation with great ideas for how she could make a real impact in my organization. And her ideas were so different to everyone else's. And check this, she was actually using skills and experience that were different to what I had put on the job description, because she had gained experience doing other things, but she had somehow flipped it into kind of transferable skills that ended up being immensely useful. So for example, she used to study psychology. She's obsessed with psychology. When I'm looking for a virtual executive assistant on paper, someone who is a master at psychology doesn't seem like a great fit for being a virtual executive assistant. However, she was able to pinpoint exactly what in psychology could be a great value add. And in this case, it was actually understanding people, the challenges that people face, who understands mindset and who understands psychology and who understands a lot of the things that I'm always learning about and trying to work on. I was like, wow, I actually don't have to teach her some of the mindset stuff. And she came up with some great ideas, such as creating more mindfulness videos on this channel to really discuss things that can really help you with your stress or your anxiety or your fears when you're looking for a job. And I thought, this is a great idea. And the third thing that she did is that she really knew what was in her genius zones. The fact that she not only came up with these ideas, but she came up with them within an hour showed to me that she's the type of person that could do a lot. Sometimes you can have a lot of people to do the same role, but it actually makes a huge difference to a business on who can do a brilliant job in less time. Because if you could do a great job in less time, that means that you're going to be more productive. The point that I'm trying to say is that if you are applying for a job, get really clear on what you do really quickly, but also at a high level. The reason for this is that what might be easy for you and what you're good at may actually be difficult for someone else, or may take someone else a bit more time. So you being able to do it in a faster time but still at the highest level just goes to show how much of an expert you are in your field. She ended up being the person that I actually hired, and I was so surprised myself, and I think she might have been a little bit surprised as well, because she got a sense in the interview process that it was a bit of a no, but she turned things around. So the next time you are doing an interview and you are thinking, I'm not getting a great vibe from the person who's interviewing me, I think they've ruled me out, instead of assuming you've been ruled out, always assume that there's a chance and simply focus on the questions and the things you can do to turn your interview around. Anyways, that's it from this week's video. If you're wondering why I hadn't posted in a little while, if you've been a subscriber for a while, it's simply because I haven't been feeling well. I had a tumor on my pancreas, and I had a surgery in 2017 to remove it. And in 2020, I had another complication from this major surgery, and I didn't know if I needed to be hospitalized, but I was able to avoid hospitalization by essentially not working, staying at home, looking after my health, and doing everything that I could to not make matters worse, because stress and overworking doesn't tend to be good for your health. So anyways, I was able to rest up, and I've been able to avoid hospital, which is great. I have a daughter, so it's really great to be out of hospital for 2 weeks. But the good news is that in this downtime, I've been starting to think about how I can make my YouTube channel more interesting, how I can make videos more fun, but also more meaningful for you at this time. So I've come up with some good ideas, because I've been getting a little bit bored with the format. So I'm gonna come up with some new ideas, and I can't wait to share them with you. Anyways, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I can't wait to see you next week. All right, bye.
Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like this video, hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for new videos, and click the bell button in order to get notified whenever I post new videos. There are so many more videos you can watch right now, so click on the video on the left or the right, or the left or the right. I can't wait to see you next week.